Wolfsburg have just been relegated from the Bundesliga after 29 consecutive seasons in the German top division. Since COVID, Wolfsburg have been painfully average and have now finally dropped to the Bundesliga 2. It was only 4 years ago that the Wolves were playing in the Champions League. So today we have got one mission: rebuild Wolfsburg, get back to the Bundesliga and ultimately win the UCL trophy, and hopefully a few others along the way. So after signing on the dotted line and becoming the new manager of Wolfsburg, we enter the new season in the Bundesliga 2, wrapping up the rest of the division. Obviously, because no games played and we are using the live start points feature, and the goal this season is absolutely simple: win the league and get back into the Bundesliga. And looking at the team we've loaded into, with a lot of players out on international duty, that's showing good signs. We've got a good squad of international experience and some really strong players still at the club, like Camille Grabara, who's an 81 rated 27-year-old goalkeeper, and Mohamed Aoumura, 26-year-old 80-rated striker, fantastic player. These two are going to be crucial in getting us back to the Bundesliga, but there is going to be a catch. If we receive a single bid for these players, we have to accept it, as let's be honest, these players should be playing at a high level. And one thing Wolfsburg do have going their way are some extremely good young players. Spence Dade, 20-year-old 72-rated centre-attacking midfielder. Aaron Zetner, 21-year-old 74-rated fullback. Desnan Pazinkovic, 21-year-old 72-rated striker, and who can forget one of the best fullbacks in the game, Sail Kumberi, 21-year-old 75 rated. And I almost forgot about Konstantinos Kouliarakis, who is one of the best centre-backs in FC 26. Wolfsburg have a very good young team that we can build the squad around. I really think we should be getting promoted in season number 1. Now we need to pick a formation which allows us to get so many of our good young players playing straight away. Now we are going with a very interesting setup starting off the season. We're actually going to go with a 4-5-1 formation with 2 attacking midfielders, and this actually helps us get all of our best young players straight into the team, because you know we're all about that player growth on this channel. And we actually start off with 56 million euros to spend. However, we've been hit with a punishment for relegation. We have got a total transfer ban for season number 1. We're allowed to sell players, we're allowed to loan players out, but there'll be no incomings at all in the first season. But we can get some youth scouting done in season number 1, and we do always use your recommendations for nations to scout. And for this season, we're going with this comment: we're going to be scouting Switzerland, and I'm going to be looking for centre mids and centre backs while we're over in Switzerland, because we've got so many good young players at the club. These are the only positions that I think we're kind of lacking. So the transfer ban is going to hit us hard in season number 1. It's now a waiting game to see if we can keep our best players. So unfortunately, due to our relegation, that has seen quite a few players leave the club. As you can see, key players like Joachim Marler, Lovro Meyer, Dennis Vivaro, Rogerio have been sold. A lot of our youngsters have gone out on loan as well. How do I want to play with Wolfsburg though? We're going to go with a high pressing system. Looking at our formation, we have got players who are going to be camped in the opposition's half. I want to try and turn the ball over high up the pitch, give teams no time to breathe, and gain promotion via suffocating the opposition. So I think there's nothing left for us to do but lock this Wolfsburg team in, simulate to the end of the season. When said season is completed, we're back in the Bundesliga. So season 1's completed, and if our team's anything to go by, promotion is an absolute must. This is a Bundesliga team on paper, and if we've not at least got into the promotion playoff, that's probably going to be a sackable offence. Some very encouraging stats: 3 players get double figures for goals in Pazinkovic, Amara and Kaminski. A lot of player growth as well if we look to our right hand side. Now 3 players are out of contract: Eriksson, Müller and Pavan. And promotion has been achieved. We finished top of the Bundesliga 2. Do I count this as a trophy? Yeah, I do. That's a Bundesliga 2 trophy added to our trophy cabinet. 20 wins, only 9 losses. Have actually been really impressive this season. We're joined by Darmstadt and Kaiserslautern that have a chance of getting into the Bundesliga 2. Thank God we're back in the Bundesliga. How did we get on in the Pokal? Well, it's not looking good. Second round exit to Verl, who beat us 2-1 at home. Back down to earth with a bang. We're sitting on a current transfer budget of 99 million euros. I really hope the board allow us to carry some of this money into season number 2. Hello there, beautiful. We're back in the Bundesliga in season number 2, and the lineup is looking good. Back amongst the German big boys. That's what we like to see. 104 million euros in the bank. Excellent transfer budget. budget, and we did actually see a lot of growth last season. The team's looking really strong. I am going to be looking to sign players in two positions: central midfield to replace Vanberg and right centre back to replace Souza. I want to bring two players in who are above 80 rated. I really don't want to be going back to the Bundesliga 2 ever again. And signing number 1 of the Wolfsburg rebuild is completed. As forgotten man Joe Bellingham joins us from Borussia Dortmund, and we've paid 34 million euros for his services. And signing number 2 arrives at the training ground. New centre back acquired. Logan Costa added to the squad to help solidify our back line, and he joins us. 28 million euros from Villarreal. And straight off the bat, we're looking like a team that should comfortably survive in the Bundesliga. We are currently lacking a backup goalkeeper at the club. Our final incoming of the transfer window, dependent on player sales, will be a backup goalkeeper. I genuinely think we're ready to have a crack at the Bundesliga. Definitely not due to the fact we inherited a very high potential young squad. Not at all. And rounding off the incomings for season number 2 is a new backup goalkeeper, as we complete the signing of Stoke City number 1 Victor Johansson, who joins us for 5.5 million. I think these 3 signings are definitely a huge step in the right direction. I think our work in this transfer window has been very impressive, but we do need to be wary in this window. Clubs could come in with bids for Grabara, Kaminski and Amura. These are players who I'm desperate to keep at the club. And there's also been outgoings in this transfer window. Some young players leave the club on loan, and a lot of rotation players sold. Some of the standouts: Asta Vranks, Yannick Gerhardt, and unfortunately club legend Maximilian Arnold has been sold. He handed in a transfer request. He wouldn't sign the new contract, so we have cashed in on him. Some young players sold for small fees will never play for us. I think they've had a pretty solid transfer window, and we are brought straight back down to earth with the realisation of our first 2 games back in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich away and Bayer Leverkusen at home. Talk about a baptism of fire. But the starting 11 is now getting locked in. This is a fantastic young team that has definitely got potential to surprise a few in the Bundesliga this season. Let's simulate till the end of the season, see how Wolfsburg get on. Survival is the goal, but I definitely think we're capable of mid-table. So we've arrived at the end of season number 2, and our team is looking like a very solid Bundesliga level team with a lot of very good morale amongst the squad. You may notice Dade is no longer in the starting 11, and it's because I've had a little bit of a mare. I didn't realise he had a release clause in his contract, and he has joined Hull City, who paid just 9.5 million for him, and he's worth 20 million euros. At 79 rated and 22-year-old, he had potential to be one of our best players in the squad, and now we're going to have to replace him in season number 3. But Skov also had a really good season, getting 12 goals and 4 assists in the Bundesliga, so maybe we didn't miss him too much on the pitch. Persinkovic was our best player, and Omara got 11 goals and 5 assists. We were really impressive this season in front of goal. Says to me we have definitely had a good season back in the Bundesliga. And while the 5th place finish has been achieved in our first season back in the Bundesliga, no real surprises to be honest with the squad that we've got, which does mean Europa League football is coming back to Wolfsburg in season 3, which should hopefully bring us in a bigger budget, because we are going to need some new signings. Borussia Dortmund go on to win the league. In the Pokal, we were really poor, going out in the 3rd round to Stuttgart, and the finals actually between Frankfurt and Werder Bremen. That would have been a really big opportunity to win this competition this season. Hopefully in season 3 we can start working towards adding some silverware to our cabinet. So we've now arrived in season 3, and we've been given a healthy budget of 64 million euros. Very good budget for a Europa League side who are trying to get into the Champions League. Looking at our starting 11, there's obviously 2 positions that I want to improve. I want to improve on Kumbedi at right back and Skov Olsen at attacking mid. Both under 80 rated. Kumbedi didn't really grow much last season. Looking to our bench, we are lacking some backup attacking players. We may look into the free agent market or see if we have any funds left over to bolster our bench a little bit, but we are going to limit ourselves to just 2 free agent signings in this rebuild. We've got to use the free agent market sparingly. And kicking off season number 3, we bring in the new attacking midfielder from the Eredivisie as we complete the signing of Matej Shin, who joins us for 38 million euros. This guy's got very good potential as well. And we do complete our first free agent signing of the rebuild, leaving us with 1 slot available for the season, as Bombazi Conte joins us on a 4-year deal, giving us some much needed depth. But we have literally scouted pretty much every single league in the world, and with the money we've got remaining, I don't think we can find a better replacement than Sayo Kumbedi. We're going to give him another season to grow. We've only got 34 million in the bank. There's no one in the club that I really want to let go of, so we're going to turn our attention to bringing a new backup striker to the club, and that will hopefully be our transfer window done. Because looking at the starting 11, we have got a very good good team on paper. And the new backup striker is now in the building as we complete the signing of 23-year-old striker Rodrigo Ribeiro from recently relegated Kaiserslautern of 16 million. And a few players have also left the club in this transfer window, like Moritz Jens and Jan Berger. We've sent another couple of young players out on loan, and speaking of young players, we do need to do some more youth scouting. Remember to get your comments down below where do you want to see me scout in a future video. But I feel like in the last few videos we haven't actually scouted the host nation of the club we're rebuilding, so we're going to scout Germany, and I actually want to see if I can find a world-class young German striker. Next Miroslav Klose would be a very nice addition to the squad. So season 3 is now completed, and thankfully there's no surprise departures from the starting 11, but there are some pretty concerning morales amongst the starting 11 and some really unhappy players throughout the rest of the squad, which is telling me we haven't had the best season this time round. We have seen some really good player growth from everyone in the starting 11 though, except for the fullbacks. So in season 4, priority number 1, new left back, new right back, and given the amount of unhappy faces, we might have to bring in a lot of players, as I'm expecting a lot of transfer requests to come across my desk in the summer. But to be fair, the stats are looking really encouraging. Aomura got 23 goals and 10 assists, which is very impressive. We did have 5 players get double figures for goals, and Sin and Bellingham got double figures assists as well. But it is worth pointing out, we did play significantly more games this season as we were in the Europa League. And unfortunately, we have shown some regression in the Bundesliga. We've only finished 9th this season, which means no European football next year. We were miles off as well, to be honest. Dortmund win the league again. They're absolutely dominating Germany at the minute. We have got some real serious rethinking to do over the summer, because this is very, very poor. But bizarrely, lads, we would go on to win the Pokal, beating Dortmund, who dominated the league this season 2-0 in the final, adding a Pokal to our trophy cabinet. Now, I don't know if this means we've qualified for Europe through winning this competition, but I'll definitely take the silverware, that's for sure. And in the Europa League, we only reached the round of 16. After winning the first leg, we capitulated away to AZ Alkmaar, who beat us 2-0, 4-3 on aggregate. It's really, really poor, that. So we've arrived in season 4, and unfortunately, we've only been given 56 million euros, meaning improving both fullback positions could be difficult. But first things first, we have spent money improving our coaches to try and help our player growth and performances on the pitch. Midfield, defence and goalkeeper are all maxed out with attack not far behind. Didn't have any issues scoring goals last season, hoping these additional coaches will help us on the pitch next season. Now, as we know, both fullback positions are top priorities in this transfer window, and Aaron Zettner has handed in a transfer request. It says he's open for new contract talks. I can't remove him from the transfer list, so he'll be leaving the club. Should bring about 20 million into the club. We're also going to sell Nicholas Kozo. He's not that good. Then I do want to sort a few of these contracts out. I want to get Kaminski down on a long-term deal. He's 85 rated. So let's focus on bringing a right back in first, sell Zettner, then bring a left back in. And we are kicking off season 4 with a huge signing in the right back position. By far our most expensive deal to date, as we complete the signing of Jeremy Frimpong from Atalanta, and he joins us for 48 million euros. Now, because this deal was so expensive, boys, we might actually struggle to bring a new left back in this transfer window. So we've had a busy transfer window in terms of outgoings this season. Quite a few players leave the club. Killian Fisher to West Ham, a few players out on loan. Zielinski, Zettner and Shigayo all leave the club, with Zettner actually getting a move to Manchester United. Already growing to 80 rated. Would that be a mistake to let him go? Not too sure. Nicholas Koza leaves as well, and Angali goes out on loan. However, we will be able to bring a new left back to the club. We've got 47 million in the bank. The new left back is next to walk through the door. Another very expensive deal as we bring a wonder kid left back to the club. As we bring in Jorge Salinas from Borussia Dortmund, and he joins us for 32 million euros. Very expensive for a 78 rated player, but he can grow to 90 rated. Borussia Dortmund have been dominating Germany throughout all this rebuild. By taking one of their best wonder kids, we're significantly weakening them, hopefully helping us overtake them in a few seasons time. And I have to admit, this team is starting to look very strong on paper. If we finish 9th again this season, that is going to be very, very poor. Our academy is full of good young players as well, who are all going to be reaching 16 soon. We're going to get all these out on loan. And winning the Pokal's proven to be very, very good for the club. We're back in the Europa League this season. We've got a very good squad. I want to be challenging to win the Europa League this time round. And we kick off the season with a win in the Franz Beckenbauer Super Cup. We've beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1 to add yet another trophy to our trophy cabinet. I really hope this is a sign of things to come in season number 4. So we've arrived at the end of season 4, boys, and after a really poor third season, I'm really encouraged to see a lot of good morale amongst the squad and a team full of high 80 rated players. Our bench is also looking decent as well. Some real positive signs at the minute, boys. I'm hoping for a much more successful season. Well, as we look to the stats, 2 players did get 20 plus goals, Omara and Kaminski. That's very encouraging. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about is our striker only actually got 10 goals this season, including only 7 in the Bundesliga, whereas midfielders scored the bulk of our goals. Maybe we need to look into bringing a new striker to the club in season number 5. Well, as we look to the league table, lads, we are the champions of Germany, finishing 1 point clear of second place Leipzig. What a way to respond to a 9th place finish, and it does also show the inconsistencies a little bit in FC 26. That is a Bundesliga trophy added to our trophy cabinet. That's Champions League football secured for season 5. 3 trophies already, really successful rebuild so far. I'm going to have to show you, boys, it did go to the final day of the season where we drew with Leipzig, and that ultimately won us the league. So our defence of the Pokal was absolutely pathetic. We were beaten in the second round at home by Köln, who beat us 1-0. Dreadful. And this season we were in the Europa League. We lost in the semi-finals 4-3 on aggregate to Juventus, who would take on Lyon in the final and would ultimately win on penalties. So close to a European trophy. So we have now arrived in season 5 as the defending champions of Germany, and we've been given 96 million euros to improve our team. Really happy to see most of our squad has gone out on international duty. I think it's the European Championships they've gone to. Could be wrong. For me personally, where I'd like to improve the team is by bringing a world-class centre-back to the club. As Kouliarakis and Costa are fantastic players, just think we're going to need a world-class centre-back going into the Champions League. And as well, lads, I may listen to offers for Pazinkovic. He only scored 10 goals and got 1 assist in 50 games last season. That ain't good enough. Attacking mids and midfielders are outscoring him at a massive rate. If a bid comes in for him, I will accept it. And as reigning defending champions of Germany, we have splashed the cash on a world-class centre-back, as we have completed the signing of Giorgio Scalvini from Atalanta, and he joins for an eye-watering 80 million euros, leaving us with literally 11 million in the bank. This could be our only signing of season number 5, but what a signing it is. So along with Scalvini joining the club, a few players have left, most notably Kevin Paredes has gone to Real Betis. We have loaned out a couple of youngsters and sold Pharrell Henson. Not really been too busy of a transfer window. We only have 25 million in the bank. I don't think we're going to improve the squad with that money. And this season we're once again in the Franz Beckenbauer Super Cup. We've won it again in back-to-back seasons. We've beaten Borussia Dortmund 2-0 in the final. Thankfully, I've seen Pazinkovic has got on the score sheet. Good start to the season for him. And Omara rounded off the tie. Super Cup trophy added to the trophy cabinet. Great way to kick off season number 5. So season 5 is now completed. This team's looking very strong on paper, with nobody in the starting 11 below 84 rated. Sinkovic really stinking the gaff out when it comes to player growth. We've had our first 2 90 rated players in Omara and Kaminski. Logan Costa unhappy. No one in the starting 11 happy. No one on the bench happy. No one in the squad is happy. Lads, we've had a dreadful season, haven't we? Well, probably not, because 3 players have scored over 20 goals this season and really carried our squad, and I'm really happy to see Pazinkovic get 25 goals after a dreadful season 4. But we finished second in the Bundesliga, 5 points behind eventual winners Bayern Munich, who were pretty much flawless this season. One too many losses for us has lost us our Bundesliga crown, but we have still qualified for the Champions League. Every cloud does have a silver lining. And in the Pokal, we lose a thriller to Leverkusen in the semi-finals, 4-3 the tie. They'll go on to play Union Berlin. That was an excellent chance to add another Pokal to the trophy cabinet. And this season we were in the Champions League. We made the round of 16, but Arsenal really humiliated us. A 5-1 loss on aggregate. There's still work to be done behind the scenes if we're going to win the Champions League with Wolfsburg. So we are into season 6. We need to see some improvements, as the board are not happy. Look at our manager rating. They've given us money, 118 million euros in the bank to improve our chances of silverware. Now looking at our defence, it's very strong. Our midfield is excellent. Sinkovic at 84 rated. Is he good enough to fire us to a Champions League final? Well, if last season's anything to go by, he isn't. I think if we spend all of our money bringing a world-class striker to the club, dropping Pazinkovic to be our backup striker and selling Ribeiro, and maybe bringing a backup centre mid, into the club or backup winger, I think we're going to have an excellent chance of doing better in the Champions League and regaining our Bundesliga crown. So gutted to lose that last season. Maybe the fact we only signed one player in the last transfer window held us back and was actually a mistake. And we've not looked at the free agents list for quite some time, and there's probably been some improvements we could have made to the squad, and we've really underutilised it in this rebuild. So I am going to have a look, see if anyone's on there. And this is why I had to be checking the free agents list. We have made an incredible signing. A new backup winger has been signed. As we complete the signing of Cole Campbell, the former Borussia Dortmund man has signed a 3-year contract. At 80 rated, he can do a great job off the bench for us this season, and he can grow to 85 rated. And boys, a new superstar striker is now a Wolfsburg player, and we have seriously splashed the cash on this one, as we have completed the signing of wonderkid French striker Robinho Vaz from Roma. He joins us for a whopping 100 million euros. This is the type of signing that takes you far in the Champions League. Well, there's been a few outgoings as well in this transfer window. Matthias Vanberg, Matthias Angeli, Till Nijnega and Rodrigo Ribeiro have all been sold, pumping some much needed funds back into the club. We've now got 45 million euros, and I'm going to use this money to sign a new backup central midfielder. And a new central midfielder has been acquired. Big upgrade on Svanberg. As we complete the signing of Shakhtar Donetsk midfielder Marlon Gomez, who joins us for just 18 million euros. I absolutely love sniping a player whose contract's expiring. Rounding off what I think's been an excellent transfer window. Incredible starting 11. Very, very strong and capable bench. Surely our trophy cabinet's going to see some new additions this season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 6, boys, and those new signings have certainly paid off. We're in the Champions League final. We'll be taking on PSG. After an impressive league phase where we finished 5th in the league, where Leipzig and Bayern Munich were also very successful as well. PSG actually going unbeaten in the league phase. This is going to be a difficult tie. We went straight into the round of 16 where we beat Fiorentina 4-2 on aggregate, setting up a quarter-final tie with Fenerbahce, and wow, 9-0 aggregate win against the Turkish Giants. That is a seriously impressive win. Setting up a semi-final with Barcelona, who we beat 4-2 on aggregate, whereas PSG beat their rivals 3-1 on aggregate, Real Madrid, to set up a Wolfsburg versus PSG final. This is going to be a very difficult tie. And we would add another Bundesliga trophy to our trophy cabinet, finishing 2 points clear of Borussia Dortmund in 2nd place. Back the champions of Germany. This has got potential to be an incredible final season. And we'd also win the Pokal as well. We beat Hoffenheim 2-0 in the final. Another Pokal added to the trophy cabinet. We are so close to rounding this rebuild off of a treble. And oh my god, just look at this team on paper. 6 90+ rated players in this team. Unfortunately, it should be 7 90 rated players, as Frimpong is 90 rated, but he's injured and will not play in the final. Thankfully, we've got a ready-made replacement in Kumbedi, who's unhappy. He is 83 rated and will fill in. 6 90 rated players. I think we've got a better team than PSG. Should be 7. So gutted about the Frimpong injury. As we look to the stats, what a first season for Robinho Vaz. Worth every penny of the 100 million. 39 goals and 10 assists. Omura, Sin, Kaminsky, Bellingham, all double figures for goals. Bellingham incredible from centre midfield. When it comes to a Hall of Famer, I have picked my man. Mohamed Omara has been absolutely incredible in this rebuild. Could have gone to Kaminsky as well. He's been incredible. But I just think Omara's had the better goal output. He's reached 92 rated. He has been our star man in this rebuild. And now we take on PSG for the chance to win a treble and achieve glory with Wolfsburg. So let's have a look at PSG's team. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia, 91 rated, incredible player. Dembele on the decline. Ibrahim Mabaye only 85 rated. Dro Fernandez 85, Zaire 89. Joe Neves 93, the best player on the pitch. They have only got a 76 rated left back. Decent centre back pairing, 90 rated Pacho's a good player. I think we can really target PSG down their left hand side, and our attack is significantly better than theirs. Old Trafford is the venue. I make us the favourites going into this game. Can we win this final? Only time will tell. We want to be attacking down our right, which is going to be Wimmer and Omara's side. And look at that one pass. We're already in behind. Omara, he's not got the pace to get past Zabane. That is excellent defending from the PSG man. Great skill by Omara. Plays Wimmer down the side. Thinks over, Vaz is in. Shoots. Oh, he slips as he shoots. That's a huge chance on the 30th minute. First shot of the entire game. Got the speed. Oh, he's got the speed. Across. Vaz, touch, turn, shot, save, rebound. Omara makes it 1-0. Our Hall of Famer. Kaminsky getting in behind every single time. That ball out to Kaminsky is money. Brilliant pace, ball across, one touch. Finesse shot saved. But there is our Hall of Famer and captain to put the ball home. And on this first half showing, that's deserved. 1-0 to Wolfsburg. And that is half time, lads. 1-0 to the good at the break. Very good performance from the 30th minute onwards, where it was very close for the opening half hour. We have now got one hand on that Champions League trophy. PSG have just brought Vitinha on, who you probably think should have started the game, to be honest. Scalvini, that's a mistake. Big save by Grabara. Wow, what a terrible touch. I don't have a clue what I did there. He's not going to shoot, is he? What? He shot from there. That was like 45 yards out. No. Great chance, but what a save by Grabara. Oh, it's given away to Lucio. He's actually been really good, that player. 90 on the clock. Whipped in. Clear it. Big header by Salinas. And Rodrigo Vaz puts it out. There's the full-time whistle. Wolfsburg hang on in the end. A fantastic defensive display in the second half. And we win the Champions League final 1-0 thanks to our Hall of Famer, Mohamed Omara. And all that is left to do, lads, is lift the Champions League trophy. Our Hall of Famer does the honours. Wolfsburg are the champions of Europe. That's another rebuild successfully boxed off, and I'll see you in the next one.